Today, we are immersing ourselves in a really shocking criminal case that unfolded in Meerut. It's known, pretty tragically, as the Indira Nagar drum murder case. Yeah, and this isn't just a story about a crime. It's a detailed look at how a brutal act, apparently rooted in betrayal, was meticulously unraveled. And they used just overwhelming digital and forensic evidence. We have a deep stack of sources here. They don't just detail the tragic death of Saurabh Rajput, but they really shine a light on two critical modern aspects of criminal investigation. First, the sheer scale and the synthesis of data the police can achieve now, and second, the unexpected and immediate social and legal ripples that followed the arrests. It's quite a story.
That's exactly the key focus for us. We're trying to go beyond just the sensational headlines that grab attention. Our mission really is to dissect the structure of the police case, like why they built a 1,000-page charge sheet. That's huge. And then analyze the unique collateral damage this crime inflicted, specifically on those, adjacent to the accused. It's a study in how fast non-legal punishment can move in the 21st century. It's kind of frightening, actually.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the grim facts and the timeline. The victim here was 35-year-old Saurabh Rajput. He was a former merchant Navy officer. And the tragedy took place at his own home in Indira Nagar, Meerut. He'd only recently returned to the area, I believe.
That's right. And according to the investigation, the core facts point the finger pretty directly at his wife, Muskan Rastogi, and her alleged lover, Sahil Shukla. The murder itself is pinned to the night of March 3rd or maybe the 4th, back in 2025. And the police established what they see as a clear motive. Saurabh was perceived as an obstacle.
An obstacle?
Yeah, an obstacle standing in the way of Muskan and Sahil's relationship, their affair. And it's important context, the sources confirm this, the police definitively dismissed any initial public speculation about black magic or occult involvement. That was just noise.
Right, they shut that down. And the specific act of concealment, that's what gave this case its horrific and unforgettable name, isn't it? The body, dismembered, wasn't found immediately. It took, almost 2 weeks? Until March 19th, 2025.
Exactly. And the final discovery, it was that the body was sealed inside a very large blue drum. And then the perpetrators meticulously filled this drum with cement. They were trying to permanently bury the evidence right there on the property.
Just unbelievable.
That extreme level of premeditation and just the sheer brutality of the attempted cover-up, it immediately ensured the police response would be equally intense and methodical. When a crime scene is this aggressively altered, it really compels investigators to build an absolutely ironclad case, which brings us to the overwhelming evidence they compiled.
I want to pause on that word, overwhelming. Our sources indicate the police built their case incredibly quickly, but the evidence file they generated was just massive. I have to ask, 1,000 pages. Does that seem almost like overkill? Are we sure this volume genuinely reflects sophisticated data synthesis, or is there maybe a risk of just bureaucratic fluff padding the file?
Well, that's a crucial question, isn't it? Because historically, charge sheets were primarily based on, physical evidence, eyewitness testimony. Pretty standard stuff. But in this instance, the sources really suggest that the 1,000 pages represent the new reality of data aggregation. When police combine traditional forensics with vast amounts of digital data, things like call detail records, CDRs, extensive CCTV footage analysis, and then synchronized witness statements, the sheer volume just explodes.
Oh, okay.
So it's not necessarily fluff, it's more like the digital trail being meticulously documented step by step. Specifically, those CDRs, the call detail records, they are often the linchpin of modern investigations like this. They don't just tell you who called whom, they provide pretty much irrefutable geographic data.
Location data.
Exactly. Where the phones were located, who they were communicating with, for precisely how long. It creates this minute-by-minute map of the accused's movements, both leading up to the crime and immediately following it.
Wow. That blending of digital mapping and physical evidence must make for a virtually inescapable case structure, I'd imagine. And here's where it gets really interesting, as you mentioned. The immediate reaction of the accused actually delivered a gold mine of evidence to the investigators. It really solidified that timeline for them.
It absolutely did. After the murder, Muskan and Sahil immediately fled Meerut. They traveled together to Himachal Pradesh for several days.
Right.
Now, this was a physical action, obviously, a flight from justice, but it required them to use their vehicles, use their phones.
Pass through toll points.
Exactly, toll points, city cameras. They couldn't avoid leaving a trace. And the digital records precisely corroborated every movement of that physical flight.
Yeah.
Investigators could use CCTV footage from near the house, match it to the CDR tower pings from their phones, match that to financial transactions along the highway.
Like credit card swipes or something.
Yeah, or toll payments. And confirm their location in Himachal Pradesh. They basically created a trap for themselves that was sealed shut by their combined digital footprints. It made the timeline utterly airtight.
That level of synchronization between traditional evidence and modern data aggregation is why the case became so tight so quickly. But the story didn't end there, did it? The resulting legal and social fallout threw several unexpected complications into the whole narrative. Let's start with the legal complexities first. While Muskin Rastogi was held in judicial custody, awaiting trial, it was discovered that she was pregnant.
Yes, and this raises a really important question that fundamentally alters the legal landscape of the case. The sources we looked at were very careful to point out that the paternity of the child is currently unclear. Nobody knows for sure whose child it is.
Which must create a huge challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the strategic challenge this presents. For the prosecution, this introduces an element of maybe sympathy. It forces them to manage the optics of prosecuting a pregnant woman. And for the defense, well, regardless of who the father actually is, it provides immediate grounds for mitigation arguments.
Like for sentencing.
Exactly, sentencing or custodial considerations down the line. A complication like this in such a high-profile case immediately injects uncertainty into the proceedings. It kind of moves the focus, temporarily at least, from the act itself to the ongoing personal consequences.
That's a profound twist, a real human element complicating the legal process. But if that was the legal wrinkle, the social fallout was perhaps even more immediate and frankly devastating for the peripheral parties involved. We saw Muskin's family, people who weren't actually accused of the crime, facing this sudden and total community boycott in Meerut.
That is terrifying, isn't it? A community verdict handed down before a judge even properly sees the evidence. The severity of the social consequences was just so swift and existential for them. The family was essentially forced to put their house up for sale. They were planning to leave the city entirely.
Just leave everything behind.
Yeah, and this illustrates a key modern phenomenon. The social justice system, if you can call it that, driven by media scrutiny and public outrage. It operates on a much faster, much more punishing timeline than the slow, deliberate pace of the official court system.
That's a really powerful point.
This forced displacement, it's a form of immediate collateral punishment. The court may eventually decide the case, months or years down the line, but the community has already passed judgment on the wider family unit, forcing them to uproot their lives simply by association. It's brutal.
And speaking of immediate judgments and modern twists, we have the final, uniquely 21st century development, the sudden appearance of digital misinformation, something designed to muddy the waters. A video started circulating online that allegedly showed Muskin Rastogi interacting with a police officer, suggesting impropriety or something.
This is just a textbook example, really, of how quickly technology can be weaponized in these high-stakes public interest cases. Police had to act extremely quickly. They issued a public statement confirming that the video was, in fact, a sophisticated AI-generated deepfake.
A deepfake, wow.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that the police didn't just issue a denial. That wasn't enough. They actually registered a case under the IT Act against those circulating the fabricated material.
So they went after the source, or at least those spreading it.
Exactly. And this move signals a recognition that in modern investigations, the police must not only solve the crime itself, but they also have to actively manage and prosecute these digital disinformation campaigns that aim to undermine public trust